What's up? What's up?
Hey, James. And that intro is strong, brother. Golly, that's top tier.
Yeah, man, we got to set it off right from the beginning. So everybody, like, I'm here once again, James live for the second time. By the way, that's an inside joke between me and Harrison. but we're
Nice.
always interviewing an agent that's killing in their marketplace, and I'm excited to have someone here that's doing very very well. Just kind of tell a backstory. Me and Harrison actually met at a sprint event, influencer event in Washington D.C., where we were obviously one of the influencers there. We start connecting and talking, and really just kind of sharing each other's stories. And come to find out, he's in my backyard. He was in Atlanta, well, not Atlanta, Georgia, but Savannah, Georgia, in the same state that I am. We've been able to really connect on a high level. So I'm excited to have him here. One thing that I always like to do whenever somebody comes on board or to do the interview is for them to tell a backstory, the origin of how they got into real estate. Harrison, can you kind of go through that and kind of tell us that beginning stages and how you're doing what you're doing now?
Yeah, brother. Well, first of all, James, we appreciate you having us on. And yeah, when James says the influencer event, I want to make sure that he knows he was the influencer at the event. I'm trying to get up to James's level because he's succeeding massively in this business model. But as for the origin, James, really it was grew up. I was the fourth kid, so I was being born in May of '98. I was the fourth kid, and my dad said we were living in a 600 to 700 square foot trailer, and he said, "I got to change something because we didn't have two pennies to rub together." And so he got his real estate license, and the only way I knew how to explain it was I saw how real estate took us from that trailer, lack of money, to a nicer house, to good food, good education, and it just provided a better standard of living for us. And so I had a really positive mindset of what real estate could do because I've seen it. I've seen how my family's done it, and I kind of give my dad a lot of credit for that because he doesn't like talking about those early days, but he really was going through the grind to get to the point where the team is now. And he's been in the business for 25 years or somewhere close to that. And so it's been really, really impressive. So I give him a lot of credit for the origin. And for me, I'd never had any interest in getting into real estate, but I kind of came to a crossroads. I finished my freshman year of college, and I had accumulated some student debt. And so I did some quick calculation, and I'm thinking, okay, if I have 4 more years of this or 3 more years, then I'm going to have some student debt when I graduate. And I didn't like that idea. And so, boom, clicked in my head for the first time that, hey, what if I got my real estate license and worked during the summers as a way to pay for school? And so, very fortunate that my family's in real estate and we had a team structure where, there was paid leads that came into the team. And so I said, okay, I'm going to get my real estate license. I'm going to work these paid leads. I'm going to give a 50-50 split to the team lead, who happens to be my dad. And I'm going to make 50% of these leads and I'm going to work 2 or 3 months out of the year and see what happens. And so I'm like, okay, this was spring of my sophomore semester and I wanted to be licensed by that summer. I'm like, okay, I'm taking a full course load at the University of Georgia. I'm trying to figure out how to get this 75-hour pre-license course done, struggling to do it. And I'm an all or nothing type of person. So I can't do a little bit at a time. If I'm doing it, I got to go all in. So I remember spring break of that year, my now fiance, then girlfriend, goes and she goes to Colorado, has a good trip out there. And I spend the 9 days that I had of spring break knocking out that 75-hour pre-license course, 10, 12, 15 hours a day, whatever it took, because I knew I had to be licensed by that summer because you only have a little bit of time to take advantage of the busy season. So boom, got the license and really just trying to jumpstart and learn the business. And again, it was, let's see how many paid leads I can convert for the first couple months of the summer. And what happened was I was able to accumulate way more income than I was anticipating during those summers, just working 2 or 3 months out of the year. And so then when I graduated from school, I was like, what if I could make this amount work in 2 or 3 months, what could happen if I work 12 months? And so that's kind of where we are now. And So I was in full-time production, still in full-time production, but sort of have graduated a little bit to more of a team lead role, and obviously call it a builder in our group, to continue to try to grow and build our group and our team here within the coastal Georgia area.
Yeah, man, that story. I mean, you said so much in that in and of itself, and I really think about like even my beginnings. My dad actually was an entrepreneur from the beginning. I seen him when he was actually working on his job, and then start his own business, and I saw
Mm,
how our life got better. And then like my first business that I got into actually was the same business that he did. I started on actually on my own.
nice.
But it kind of started that whole journey. It wasn't real estate, but it kind of started that whole journey, watching that whole process happen. So,
Awesome, James.
but it sounds like one of the things that you did learn in this was is sacrifice, right? Like you're going to UGA, and I don't whatever you was majoring in that particular time.
Mhm.
You really kind of backdoored into real estate simply because it was student debt. It really wasn't that you just wanted to be a real estate agent, right?
Correct. Correct. And I always wanted to make money. And I did an internship. I like the idea of politics. So I did an internship with the governor's office, one of those semesters before I got into real estate. And I realized that the harder I work in this internship, nothing's going to really come out of it. It's not a meritocracy. I can't work harder to make more money. I'm on a set. It was literally a minimum wage internship. So I was just happy to get paid. But I'm like, there's nothing that I can do that could make this any better. And so then that's when like the real estate thing came in, because I'm sitting there thinking, okay, if I get good at this real estate thing, this is any kind of business, right, James? You know this. Then the better I get, the more value I'm adding to the consumer, the better it's going to be for me financially, and I can control that. And then I just got hooked and addicted to business because of that, and just kind of learning it on my own, because my family, my dad especially, never really pushed real estate, because he's doing his own thing. He's building the company, he's building the business, he's busy. And so it was like, hey, whatever Harrison wants to do, he's perfectly fine with, which, so I kind of appreciated that, because then I was able to get into the business on my own thinking, okay, I see the value in this real estate thing. Now let's go all in and see what we can do with it.
Yeah, man. Man, that's great, dude. So, one of the things that you all had did for us, like after we had met, I reached out to you about doing one of our masterminds, and we do these masterminds once a month where we're always having somebody to come in and just kind of share what they actually did to grow their business. That's why I wanted you to come live
Yeah,
with me, but
sure.
I didn't realize. At that event, how much real estate you all sold, and not only that, but how dominant you all were in your marketplace. Can you talk about that a little bit of how that happened? First, obviously your father, what he was able to do, and then how you're
Mhm.
actually helped building it even more.
Yeah, James. Yeah, I should have probably explained this at the beginning. So, our team, we're in Savannah, Georgia, and last year we sold 501 homes. And so that's the most we've ever sold. We're really, really, we're excited about that. But really, it's less about the amount of transactions, and it's more about the actual building of the business and where it can go and where you can take it and stuff. So the trajectory is kind of interesting, because we were an independent real estate company before coming to EXP. And so it was sort of a steady growth. So when I came in, I think the business was selling about 200 homes a year or somewhere close to that. And so it was really fun, because I came in right around the same time that my dad was thinking, okay, it's time to go grow and scale this thing. And I'm like, okay, boom, I can come in perfectly and be a part of that growth and scalability. And so getting way stronger on social media, getting way stronger with our paid lead structure. One of the things that we talk about a lot, and this is a huge, huge part of us in our business, is the paid leads, right? We don't get to 500 homes sold if we're not converting paid leads at the highest level, paying a massive amount of money for paid leads. I hate to say it, but it's just the reality. But it's really the totality of the business. It's not just one or two things. It's how many things can we put together that gets us to 500, the systems in place, and then now we can go scale it to 700 and 1,000. And really, the way this business model, and I know we don't want to talk too much about EXP, but the way this business model is set up, it is meant for growth. It is meant for scalability. We can operate, and this is really where my role comes in. I can operate as team lead, funnel as many agents into our team structure, right? But really, a lot of these people are within EXP, but we hit the mega icon status, and so we're able to offer them a reduced cap for coming on board. And so it's really, hey, how many agents can I go touch to say, okay, you're at this company now. This is the new structure. This is the new system that we have. Oh, wait, by the way, we'll offer you paid leads. You just give us a 25 or 50% split if you convert them. And it becomes a home run for a lot of these agents. And so there's no doubt in my mind that we were at 10 agents a year and a half ago. We're at over 30 agents now, and we've had to kind of cut it off because we've hit that ceiling of growth. And so now the systems and structures in place for us to get to that next level. And really, we want to become the biggest real estate group or company in coastal Georgia, size, transaction volume, not EXP. We're with EXP. We want our team to dominate this market and be, have 200 agents in our group, which I think we can do, and sell 1,700 homes. James, we have a podcast. We call it the Dual Agency Podcast. I'm in the studio now. It's a little play on words with DUEL, dual agency, but uh, me and my dad do the podcast, and we interview people, and similar to this. Now we don't do it live because we're not as savvy as you, James, to do it live. We do it and post it on YouTube. But one of the guys we talked to was selling. He sold 1,700 homes at 150 agents. Sold 1,700 homes. We talked about what he did and all the things. It's like that system and stuff is definitely there, and it's definitely possible. But I think we're getting ahead of ourselves because not everybody wants to go become a mega team. Not everybody wants to become a mega producer. Not everybody wants to be that. So it really just depends on where you are, where you want to be. And so our whole idea of this system is to make it to where any agent can come in and achieve whatever they want to achieve in life and in business.
Yeah. I mean, I always tell everybody, you have an agent, and a lot of people are just in real estate, but they don't have a real estate business. And I think
Yeah.
that's one of the biggest things that you all are doing right now is you all have created a real estate business, and now you've been able to add leverage to it.
Yeah.
And it was a certain amount of leverage that you was having before with your dad, and when you was coming on board, but in the vehicle that you were in, it can only go so fast. Now you went and got into another vehicle, and now all of a sudden you're able to grow from that 10 agents to 30 agents and build something even bigger, better, faster, and more sustainable.
For
That's
sure.
really what this whole thing is. Like even with EXP, like if it's not really just the fact that it's another brokerage. It's really a change agent for real estate agents everywhere. And
Agreed.
whether you want to be in production, whether you want to build yourself out of production, whether you're a single agent, anybody has the opportunity, and that seems like that's the reason why you always able to grow and it's growing as fast as you are growing now.
Well, and one of our favorite sayings, I think it's a Warren Buffett line where it says, it doesn't matter how hard you're rowing the boat, it matters what kind of boat you're in. And that's what you're talking about with that vehicle. You got to be in the right vehicle to be able to achieve whatever you want to achieve. You can't, it's hard to make $1 million a year, working salaried. It depends on what vehicle you're in. And so, yeah, I agree with you, man. That's what has been the real game changer for us. And what's been important is, hey, we want to be able to say, okay, EXP is our brokerage, yes, but how many layers can we add onto this EXP company to make the value so good for the real estate agent and our market and beyond, to where it's almost insane that they're not with us and not at this company. That's our mindset with it.
Yeah. So I know you mentioned about like paid leads, right?
Yep,
And how paid leads was kind of like your initiation into the real estate aspect of it.
for sure.
What I end up hearing a lot of time from agents is that so I'm getting these leads, but they're no good leads, right?
Yep.
These leads suck. They're
Oh yeah.
terrible. I don't like them. Things of that nature. And the first thing I always tell somebody is like, look, Leads is the first part of this whole thing. Like you got to have leads to flow in to have you because you got to have an overflow of every section of the pipeline. I always tell
Hmm.
people you got to have an overflow of leads to have an overflow of appointments, have an overflow of appointments to have an overflow of people that you're working with, have an overflow of people that you're working with to have an overflow of contracts. Overflow of contract equals overflow of closes. If any sector of that pipeline is not an overflow, you're not going to have that consistency in your real estate business. Um,
Agreed.
but the first part of it, the leads aspect of it, is sometimes the most easiest part, to get, just to
For
get an
sure.
overflow leads coming in. Like you said, you can pay for leads, you can do, you can attract more people, build a really big funnel, have them come in.
Hmm. Hmm.
The conversion of those leads is probably one of the most, difficult things or that somebody has to work on. But the
Oh
thing
yeah,
of it is, once you learn that conversion part of it, the rest of it is downhill from there.
for sure.
Yeah.
For
Is,
sure.
is
Agreed.
that pretty much the same thing that you're experiencing, even with with your team and with your agents?
100%, James. Is we have our CRM that we use the most. When we run the numbers, if we're not making 8 to 9x returns on that lead gen system, then our conversion on our end is not very good. We had it where at the beginning we were 7x, then we were 8x, and then we were 9x. So going back to the idea of the leads aren't very good, we when we talk to other agents at other companies and they're using the same CRM that we use, and they tell us that the leads aren't very good, well, we know that that's not true because we're making 7 8x on our money using this lead gen, so we know they're good. So the real aspect, and this is what we hit on very very important, is how do you respond to that lead when they come in? How do you work that lead? So some of the things that we do, and I'll be revealing some secrets here, James, but this is what's gotten our conversion way, way, way higher than what it was before. New lead comes in, obviously speed to the lead. You want to be able to communicate with them right away. But one of the things that we do, every single one of our leads that come into our system gets a personalized video from an agent at our company. And the personalized video is very, very simple. So James comes in. Hey James, Harrison Bocook, and I'm just doing a selfie video. This is it. Real, raw, organic. It doesn't matter if I'm in the studio interviewing with you, or on a run or at the gym. It doesn't matter. I'm popping the phone out and saying, "Hey James, Harrison Bocook with Bocook Realty. Thanks for registering with our website. Just wanted to put a face to a name, let you know we're real people. Hey, I'm doing this interview really quick, but you're important to us, and wanted to make sure we can talk to you as quickly as we can. We're the local real estate experts here. We'd love to help." And then boom, we send that to every single one of our leads. That right there has been a game changer in our conversion, because one thing we know is every single lead that comes into your pipeline is working with somebody else. We like to think of it as they're cheating on you.
Yeah.
Every lead is cheating on you. And so what you have to do is, instead of having the mindset, this is what I think where the mindset shifts, James. And it's because at the beginning, we were doing a lot of Google AdWords when it was really early, and I remember my dad doing it and me being a part of it, and it was really really effective, to the point where at the beginning this was the conversion. 100 leads came in. If 95 of the 100 did not buy a house with us, there was a problem. Now think about that for a second. A 90, typically it's reversed now. Typically, if you can get 5% of 100, then you're doing a good job. So at the beginning, it was 95 out of 100, and it was a meeting to say, okay, how did we miss the five? Why did we not sell the rest of the five? We got the 95, but why didn't we sell the other five? And so this idea of capturing these leads and adding more, really what we're doing is adding more value than anybody else in the marketplace. Whether it's, hey James, I know you just messaged, but hey, I can go run and do that video for you. Or we got leads coming in now that they're going to Charleston, South Carolina before they come here. I'm setting dinner reservations for them in Charleston, so they know, hey, Harrison's got dinner reservations at Hall Steakhouse, one of the best steakhouses that I've ever been to. It's in Charleston. And it's very hard to get a reservation from, but Harrison's getting them a reservation so they can go with their family. It's that kind. Hey, our school's important, James. Hey, I know you have kids. So, hey, do your kids play any sports? Because if they do, I'm going to go talk to the coaches of those sports and let them know that you guys are coming. And if you want to reach out to them, you can. Hey, here's a video of the schools, James. I know you got kids. Hey, here's a video of the schools. This is what our schools look like. These are the ratings. They're really, really strong. It's stuff like that that allows us to convert. And that's how you get jump started in real estate. if you were to go work for a team that has leads, instead of the mindset being, man, these leads stink, they suck, blah, 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 you should think every lead that comes into the pipeline might buy a house with you. Every lead should be a good lead until they prove otherwise. And that's when you get good at gauging and looking at their urgency and not wasting time with people that aren't serious, but adding that value at a really, really high level. That's what we try to do. And that funnels into a lot of the other things that we do as well, James.
Man, Sekou Pla just replied. He said, "So essential and important." So, from everything that you were saying. So, what's up, Sekou? What is
What's up,
that?
brother?
But man, I mean, you said a whole lot again in that whole part of it. Just what Nick Krim actually met with. I'm in Orlando, met with him the other day, hung out with him. But I call him the content king. But what he calls that, he says, naming the puppy, right?
Mhm.
And that shooting a video, sending it over, having them to actually see who they're dealing with face to face, and that they are a
Yeah.
real person. That goes so far, right? And it's a simple thing to do, but most people don't do it. You want to do something different than what most agents. I always say, like, if you're operating like 80% of agents, 80% of agents make less than $35,000 a year. So you can't do what they're doing. You have to stand out.
For
Money
sure.
flows towards difference.
Yeah.
So you got to be different in the marketplace, and everything that you're just saying, and that you all have been able to do, it's a reason why y'all able to dominate.
Thank you,
Another
brother.
thing was just kind of falling in love with your client, falling in love with your customer.
Mhm.
How many people are going to go that extra mile and go book that dinner reservation, or to go to reach out to that coach, or all that stuff.
Mhm.
But when you're doing that stuff, once again, you're being different. You're providing a gold star, white glove service to people, and if you do that, you're going to get a return on that.
I love it, man. Yeah, this is an $800,000 client, which is about 2 or 3x what our average is in our market. And so, of course, I'm gonna. But here's the best part: it doesn't matter if they're buying $100,000 house. That standard has to stay the same, or then the reviews don't look good. That's why if you one of the things that is crucial for us, and we talk about it a lot because this has been very, very important to our growth, is we get a lot of inbound phone calls because people Google Richmond Hill or Savannah real estate agent, and our Google page comes up because we have close to 800 Google reviews, most of them 5 star. Now we have a 4.9 rating, which Google tells us looks even better than having a 5 star rating because it looks like you're a real person. But we're pounding we want to get the Google reviews. Reviews have been, if anybody's just now starting, then I would do anything and everything you can to pump up your reviews on Google and on Zillow, even if it's, hey, James is a super quality person, very professional, and it's your best friend that maybe it's not a client, but that's a genuine, real comment. And then boom, they leave a 5 star review on your page. I would try to boost those Google reviews up as much as possible because people are Googling, hey, who's the best real estate agent in said city? And they want to get connected with you. And you can get a massive amount of business from that. We probably get 5 to 10 calls per week for people that from people that Google, hey, I need a real estate agent in this area. And so they get connected with us. That's a massive, massive amount of business if those amount of calls are coming in.
Yeah, man. That's what pro tip, right? You want to get those in there. Like, all right, so what I have heard before is, like, some people like, trying to get these reviews. I try to get people to do reviews and things of that nature. What are some of the things? I mean, because I say bribe them if I have to. Give them money, do whatever it takes to get
Yeah.
those reviews, because like you said, once they're in there, they're golden, because, like, people are gonna start responding to those reviews. It's kind of like when I go to out of town, and I'm looking
Mhm.
at a restaurant. The first thing I'm gonna
Mhm.
do is I'm gonna pull up the reviews.
No
And I
doubt.
don't I don't know if those people are real or not, but I trust it, right?
Oh, yeah.
And if somebody
Sure.
says something bad, I also trust that as well.
No
So,
doubt.
so you want to do whatever it takes to get there. But what are some of the things that you all have been able to do to get people to actually make those reviews?
Yeah, so a couple things that has worked and gotten us a lot is we got the agents on the team, and we'll do contests between the agents on the team, and we'll give them a $400 or $500 gift card for whoever gets the most reviews. And that competition, we do it like twice a year, typically generates about 50 to 100 reviews because of that. Now, some other things is whenever somebody closes on a house with us, see, this is a big part of our post closing, creating that really strong database so that these people can funnel in. Because we sold 500 homes, probably 275 to 300 were past clients or referrals or sphere of influence. So the other, half to whatever the number was the paid leads, but still the majority comes in because of the referrals, the sphere of influence, the reviews, stuff like that. So every single person that goes into our database and our post-closing database, set them up on a closing drip. They get emailed and text messaged the link to the review page to say, "Hey, if you haven't already left a review for us, it would mean a lot for you to be a part of our alumni." That's what we call people that close with us, part of the alumni, and leave us a 5-star review. Another thing we do, James, is, and this is getting the review. This has been really good for us. Is at the close, we do closing attorneys here. So I know some people have title and some people do that, but we go into an office to close with somebody in a closing attorney's office. So while you're at the closing, before it, we're making small talk with the attorney. You give them the phone, and it already has the link set up, and you say, "Hey, give me a 5-star review. It would mean a lot to me." At the closing table, because they're in the honeymoon stage, they're excited, they're all of that. Boom, they click the reviews right there. I think all of those are how we've kind of accumulated the reviews. And then last thing I'll say, James, is whenever we do social events, so community events, we feed the teachers and are big into the schools. That's a big part of our business is giving back. Just naturally, genuinely, we want to give back, and then it comes back in returns of people wanting to use us in real estate. But so anytime we go and feed the teachers or just do any kind of community event, typically what we'll do is we'll make it a fun little giveaway to say, "Hey, if you guys give us 5-star reviews, then we'll be picking winners to win a Yeti cup or Starbucks gift cards or something like that." And we've seen, have a room of about 100 teachers, 25 to 30 or 40 of them leave a review. You start doing all of these different things and you can start standing out, because we have 800 or close to 800 Google reviews. Bocook Realty, if you're watching this, please leave us a 5-star. It would mean a lot. But what happens is the next closest has like 200 or 300. So Google loves us because we're pounding these reviews. The other thing we're doing is we're trying to be active on YouTube, so that that Google is putting, okay, Bocook Realty likes to post on our platforms, and so we want to promote them as much as we can. So Google, I mean, I guess I'm harping on it a lot. I'm kind of dragging on a little bit, but it is such an important aspect to us in our business, is to try to take advantage of Google as a review, yes, but also a platform when people just Google and say, "Hey, I need a real estate agent in this area." You want to pop up, and you want to pop up organically.
Yeah. Um, I know, basically you want to occupy real estate in that person's mind. Whenever they're thinking about buying or selling or anything real estate related, you want them to think about your company first, and everything that you're doing is actually doing that. So it's no reason why,
Sure.
it's no wonder why your team and company is doing what it's doing and being so successful right now.
Well,
So
good, man. Well, and one of the things too, James, let me finish out with this is the paid lead component on Facebook ads and YouTube ads that we have been doing and not paying a CRM to run for us has probably been the best conversion for us in the last 6 months, where we'll do a video. Video has been very good for us. A video, we'll record it on the phone because the iPhone 13 quality is better than a camera. You do the 4K cinematic, it looks amazing. And we'll go directly in people's faces to say, "Hey, Richmond Hill homeowners, if you're thinking of selling your home, blah, 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 blah." And we'll have our message. And we've been posting that on Facebook. But really, we've been, and this is one of our nuggets too. I'm gonna there. My dad's gonna get mad at me for sharing this. The team's gonna get mad at me for sharing this. But our YouTube ads have been uncomfortably converting for us and getting appointments, to the point where we're getting at least 5 listing appointments on them per month because of the YouTube ads, where they'll see it, they'll click on us because, like you said, we want to be top of mind. People think about real estate on average 5 to 7 years. So when they're thinking about it, we want to be top of mind. And if they're about to watch a YouTube video and we pop up right in front of that YouTube video and say, hey, if you're thinking about selling your home, we have a valuation of it if you click the link. People click the link, they see what they can make on it, and then they send us a message, and we go on the appointment.
Yeah. Man, that's gold, man. That's gold. Hope your dad don't be too mad about that.
He might get mad at that one, but that'll be okay. That's what we do. We share this stuff. That's a part
Yeah.
of what we do.
No, man, I appreciate you for jumping on, man. Like I said, tremendous value in and of itself. If somebody needs to sell a home in Savannah, Georgia, I can't think of no better team to actually you do business with.
Thank you.
Literally white glove service. I mean, he
Thank
just
you, brother.
described it. So you definitely want to reach out to him. You
Appreciate
want to
it.
throw a website in there, Harrison?
Yeah, if you can go to the bocookteam.com or harrisonsold.com. We have a lot of different funnels for it, but bocookteam.com will take us directly to the website. Or what we love is send us a friend, add us on Facebook or on Instagram. We're big into the social media platforms and stuff, so that's how we get a lot of the connections is through social media. But we have a saying, James, especially for anybody that wants to sell or buy a home. We say all we need is an interview, because if you give us an interview, we know we can show you the value that we add. And I got to tell you, and I appreciate you having me on, but really the king of adding value is my dad, Randy. This is why the company has been so good, is because he's gone above and beyond for clients. He's had a client come down from Ocean City, and they were in love with like popcorn from Ocean City or whatever, and they came down to Savannah. So New Jersey to Savannah. Well, we went up there when I was a kid to Ocean City, and I remember him buying those bags of popcorn and shipping them to that client's address here in Savannah, just going that extra mile. And of course, when they go to sell that home, who in the world are they going to think of? Who they're going to think of. And it's that idea of not closing and just forgetting. It's adding them to the group, adding them to the alumni, to the post closing, so that these people can come back around and use you. And if they don't use you, then we've done something wrong. We'll have a conversation about that once or twice a month, where we'll see a listing and we'll say, what in the world? How did this guy not use us? And Randy's so savage. He'll send him a message. Hey man, I can't believe you didn't use us to sell your home, because it doesn't happen much. When you have those losses, I think it hurts more than the wins, almost. But it's just the totality, man. And I know we're running long, but this is what we love to talk about. We're doing our podcast now, Dual Agency, James. We're going to have you on, because we're interviewing top producing broker owners, team leads, and just people that are crushing it in business. And so I would love to have you on to that one, my friend.
I mean, just like I said, just let me know. I mean, I'm there, man. Um, it's funny because what I found is most people that are successful and highly driven, um, they're more driven in their losses than their gains.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds like that's what the same thing with your dad and yourself
Yeah.
is like. You didn't use me. Let me go a
Why
little
not?
bit further. So like that drives you to actually, like you said, you're looking at the conversion rate. Most people, they're looking at a 5%, 9% conversion. They're happy with that, and you're trying to find out how to get that other 90, 10%. The mindset is different in that
Mm-hmm.
aspect, man.
Well,
So
James, think about this for a second. Think about a client not using you to sell their home, and you reaching out to them and saying, hey, why didn't you use me? Yeah, it might be a little too aggressive to some people, but that's the kind of bond we try to build with the clients that come into our ecosystem. It's like, why in the world would you not use us on the back end? You know how we're selling homes. And it's almost always, hey, this family's connection. My wife's sister got a real estate license, and we didn't want to mess up the connection with the family and stuff like that, which we understand. But I just love that idea of sending that person a message to say, hey, come on now. Why are we doing that?
yeah.
But yeah, man, this has been good. I appreciate you. I love the setup. You got the James Massey live, and we'll be seeing you at the concert. I won't be seeing you, but Randy and Shannon will be seeing you at the concert tomorrow. You got some good VIP tickets ready to roll.
Yeah, man. I mean, I looked at them today, and I saw them in there. I showed them to the wife, and she started looking at the seats and stuff, man. So we're looking forward to it.
I think it's like
So
private
what we talked
bathrooms
about,
and
So what we're talking about, I'm actually going to Savannah. Me and the wife. My wife is a huge Jodeci fan, and I'm cool with concerts, but she loves concerts. So I reached out to Harris and I said, "Look, man, I'm going to Savannah. I want to go ahead and hook up with you." He's like, "Hey, man, we got extra tickets." And like, really? That's just the power of the connection part of it, man. I appreciate
Sir.
you reaching out, and I appreciate your dad for sending those tickets over too.
Yeah, man. Well, hey, we appreciate you, and for the people watching, we pick James's brain once or twice a month on the things that he's doing. So you've been a huge value add and resource for us on the team and company. So you're building a massive company too, and so we're modeling that and seeing how we can follow. And so that's been awesome. And hopefully you enjoy the concert. Yeah, those tickets. Apparently it's private suite, restaurant, private, everything in there. So private parking, like it's gonna be set up for you guys. VIP, which is perfect for James Massey. That should be your nickname.
Love it, man. Love it. Well, look, like I said, we do these interviews every Thursday at 11 o'clock. We're interviewing an agent that's killing it. If you want to know more about how you can actually partner with us and, get more information on what we're sharing, just go to jameshmassey.com. Just schedule, jump right into my calendar. And once again, if you're selling a house in Harrison, I mean not Harrison, if you're selling a house in Savannah and or buying a house in Savannah, definitely reach out to Harrison regarding that, man. Man, I appreciate you, brother. Hey, man, I'm glad that we was able to meet up, and I'm glad you was able to jump on and just let me know when the dual agent DUEL agent podcast. Let me know, man. I'm on it.
Yes, sir. James, we appreciate you. Thank you, brother.
All right, man.